first two White House appointments over the weekend. Reince Priebus will move over from his current post as chairman of the Republican National Committee to become White House chief of staff. Priebus stayed loyal to Trump when other Republicans bailed.
Reince is really a star, and he is the hardest working guy.
He's a longtime operative whose oldest friend in politics is fellow Wisconsinite Paul Ryan. As chief of staff, Priebus will set President Trump's meeting schedule and agenda and calm the nerves of establishment Republicans. Then there's Steve Bannon, Trump's new senior counselor and chief strategist. Bannon is the longtime head of Breitbart.com, who left his perch at the alt-right's favorite news outlet to help run Trump's campaign. Bannon has been kind of a band leader for the reincarnation of white nationalism. He bragged that Breitbart was, quote, the platform for the alt-right. And under his leadership, the site became such a haven for racist and misogynist readers and writers that its editor-at-large resigned and accused Bannon of welcoming white supremacism on the site. While Bannon won't have formal authority as senior counselor, he'll be a fixture in the Oval Office, on par with previous presidential advisors like Karl Rove and David Axelrod. House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi issued a statement today saying, quote, there must be no sugarcoating the reality that a white nationalist has been named chief strategist for the Trump administration. Bannon hasn't said much about his own views, though his ex-wife testified during their divorce proceedings that he refused to send their daughters to school, quote, with Jews, a charge that Bannon denied. But Bannon has taken credit for what he calls a populist nationalist movement and has reportedly called himself a Leninist, in the sense that his goal is to destroy the state. The Daily Beast quotes him as saying, I want to bring everything crashing down. Kurt Bardella is a conservative communications strategist who worked for Bannon at Breitbart, and he too quit when the site moved toward the alt-right. Evan McMorris Santoro sat down with him in D.C.
People are actually afraid of the idea of someone as associated with the alt-right as Steve Bannon coming into the White House. Should they be afraid of that?
For the first time, you have a media organization within arm's length of the West Wing. And never before have we had this marriage of almost a state-sponsored media organization whose sole purpose is to advance propaganda on behalf of the administration. Having that nexus come together is new territory for this country.
You're like the only non-white conservative I've seen discussing this issue. So, like, are you afraid of what might happen now?
I'm afraid because I think anytime you have unchecked power without any type of check or balance in place, across the course of human history, that doesn't end well usually for the masses.
Do you worry that this alt-right thing will infect the way conservatives are viewed and other, Republicans are viewed in general?
Well, I think it has. I mean,
Okay.
I think one of the legacies of the Donald Trump primary and general election is that there's an entire generation of millennials who will never consider joining the Republican Party because in their mind, that is the party of Donald Trump. And that's just something that they're never going to want to be a part of.
So if I were to hire you to try to fix this problem for the conservatives, what would you do in terms of what would you do in terms of messaging this?
Form a new party.
Really?
I mean, I think that it's that contaminated.